She only lived in the moment, suspended in the changing seasons of the wheel of the year. But she was certain that this new place had to have better pickings than last winter, or she would not survive. Nine was skinnier than the others. Her fur sank into the spaces between her ribs. As the Omega, she ate last. She dreamed of a place plentiful enough that there would be more left for her than just the marrow. They were climbing at night, over the rippling foothills of a mountain, when Ghost caught the scent of an elk up ahead. He made a soft yip, and Dancing Shadow slowed with the other mother, Starling, the pups ranging behind them in a tangle of skinny legs. They paused in the shadow of a stand of pines. The pups were old enough to try to tussle with an elk, but Dancing Shadow was an overprotective matriarch. They could watch and learn. After losing all the pups last year, she would abide no risks to them. Nine followed Ghost and the others, trotting across solitary hoof tracks that had not been scrubbed clean by the wind. Elk were formidable in herds, but a lone one might be an easy supper. Her mouth watered in anticipation. Lightning nipped at her flank, and Nine growled half-heartedly, baring her teeth. Lightning was always harassing her to move faster, to plunge forward. Nine, frankly, didn't have the instincts that Lightning did. She hesitated, which was why she was the Omega. There, ahead, the full moonlight picked out a shadow. A massive rack of antlers splayed out over a dark figure on the ground. He was down, alone. He was food. Nine's heart soared. Lightning was first, as always. He plunged into the snow, pale white fur a blur against his perfectly winter-camouflaged body. Nine ran as fast as she could, but Lightning was still faster. He was even faster than Ghost and the other bigger males. It was a great point of pride for him to take the first chunk from prey, then offer it to Ghost. And they were all suffused in the heady thrill of the hunt. Nine's nose wrinkled. The wind had changed, and something smelled off. She had not smelled anything like it, not in her recent recollection. She reached back, deep into her ancestral memory. She skidded to a stop and barked a warning. But the others didn't hear her, or didn't care. Likely they dismissed her as being too timid. Lightning had reached the antlered shadow on the ground. He leapt upon the elk with teeth bared, snarling, reaching for its throat before it had a chance to try and get up. But it was no elk. Human arms reached out of a black cloak winging open on the snow. Had a human hunter already claimed this prize? Would the man fight for the stag? No. He was the stag. He walked upright on massive hooves. Antlers grew on either side of his head, and he tossed them the way an angry elk would at Lightning. A spur caught the wolf under the ribs, and the man-shaped creature flung the wolf away. Lightning shrieked as he hit the ground. Nine crouched down, paws digging into the snow. Whatever this was, it was not human. Was it an old god of men, awake and angry? She glanced at Ghost for guidance. Ghost advanced upon the man, his white ruff raised, growling, with teeth bared. Nine and the others followed suit. If blood had been drawn, the pack would not allow this to go unpunished. The stag rose up to his full height. He was taller than any man should be, gathering night around him. His cloak was made of pelts of wolves, she realized. If she concentrated, she could smell the fear that still clung to them. His long-fingered claws glittered around bone knives. He lowered his head, and his eyes glowed behind a mask of bone. "You will pay for what you did," he growled in a voice rusted black with hate. Nine's instinct was to flee. People scared her, enough that she would go miles out of her way to avoid them. They were terrible, with their guns and cars and traps, killing things that they would not even...